Rationally, mental is the state of mental well-being of an individual. According to Colarose 2022, college years are a time of significant transition whether you stay at or close at home or move away to a four-year university. The years following high school are frequently a time of new experiences, foreign responsibilities, growing pains, and learning curves. They might also be the first time without parental guidance that some children have to manage their own physical and mental health. In Research Gap, according to Duffy et al. 2019, there is currently insufficient trustworthy data to guide institutions about how to develop, put into place, and assist a system for student mental health care. In addition to that, it is vital to focus more on the mental health and foster social support in the students with lower socioeconomical status in order to increase their academic performance. As an output of this study, the researchers would like to propose mental health awareness seminar and psychosocial activities that will be held yearly inside the university, particularly to the College of Education. And theoretical framework, Albert Ellis and Aaron Peck proposed the cognitive theory, which places more emphasis on what individuals think than on what they do. This theory's primary rule for cognitive aids in explaining and addressing unusual behavior. Psychodynamic theories emphasizes that a person must therefore have awareness of and insight into his or her thoughts and emotions in order to comprehend and control behavior. In the statement of the problem, this study aimed to identify the factors affecting mental health issues, and coping strategies by the tertiary education students. Specifically, this study sought to answer the following question. First, what are the factors affecting mental health issues? Second, what is the mental health issues faced or experienced by the participants? Number 3, what are the coping strategies of the participant? And lastly, number 4, what mental health programs can be proposed based on the result of the study? In objectives of the study, this research focused on the mental health and coping strategies faced by the tertiary education students and Western Philippines University Puerto Princesa City campus. Thus, it aimed to meet the following objectives. First, to determine the factors affecting the mental health issues. Second, to determine the mental health issues faced by the participants. Third, to determine the coping strategies of the participant. Fourth, to provide mental health awareness seminar and psychosocial activities proposal to the tertiary education students yearly. In significance of this study, this research study was beneficial to the following. First, for the school administrators. School administrators will have the knowledge about the mental state or issues that needs to consider in terms of providing a quality or effective learning modalities for students in order to foster knowledgeable, innovative, and excellence-free service educators. Second, for teachers. This will benefit the teachers in facilitating the students' welfare and accountability upon taking their course. Teachers will be aware on the situation of their students inside the campus premise, and this will be helpful to them to come up with possible solutions to their students who experience mental health issues. Third, for students who do not experience mental health issues. This study will be essential for the students to determine which factor can be considered a mental health issues that can affect or trigger their capabilities and motivation to pursue their goal. This will become aware of the signs of symptoms about having mental health issues. Fourth, for the participants of this study. This study would be beneficial for the students who are affected these issues, as they will be aware of what they should not do. To take an action to prevent these mental health issues, they experience of fun reaching their dreams. They would gain knowledge on how to cope up with their studies and while taking care of their mental health. Fifth, for parents. This study would help the parents identify factors that can affect their children's mental health conditions. It will give them an idea on how to protect their child's relationship with family to help keep intact and peace. And lastly, for future researchers. This study would be beneficial for future researchers to become effective in addressing the mental health issues and provide a much more creative and effective strategies to solve these issues or factors affecting students' mental health issues.
Scope and delimitation. The studies focused on the mental health issue and coping strategies of the tertiary education in one prestigious in Palawan, especially to the issues involved such as depression, anxiety, eating problems, suicidal ideation, and intent. The participants of the study were the tertiary education students who are currently enrolled in the said prestigious universities in Palawan with the academic year of 2022 to 2023. While the study covered a wide range of mental health issues faced by tertiary education students, it would not delve into diagnosed dental health disorders or their clinical treatment. Instead, it would focus on the mental health issues experienced by the tertiary education and coping strategies that respondents use to manage their mental health issues. Conceptual framework. The research paradigms approach inputs such as factors affecting the mental health issues of the participants in terms of academic pressure, emotional support from loved ones, financial difficulties, lack of time management skills, parents' pressure, peer pressure, sexual assault, to determine the mental health issues faced by the participants such as anxiety, depression, eating problems, substance misuse, and suicidal ideation. The process was interviewing the participants using open-ended questioning. The output was to provide mental health awareness seminar and psychosocial activities proposal to the tertiary education students yearly. Local of the study. The research is conducted at Western Philippines University, Puerto Princesa City Campus, located at Pahara, Barangay Santa Monica. Research design. The researchers use qualitative research design that explore and provides deeper insights into real-world problems. Moser et al. 2017 to gather data and information necessary for addressing the issues related to mental health issues using a structured interview with open-ended questions as a technique. Research participants. The study was conducted to tertiary education students at Western Philippines University, Puerto Princesa campus that have experience with mental health issues, including anxiety, depression, eating problems, substance misuse, and suicidal ideation and intent. The students in various tertiary education year levels and majors were chosen as participants. Since the study is qualitative, researchers come up with 10 participants counts. Sampling procedure. According to Kashani 2022, a non-probability sampling method known as purposive sampling. Units are chosen because the possess quality that your sample needs. In other words, purposive sampling selects unit on purpose. These sampling techniques, also known as judgmental sampling, or even would yield the most useful information for achieving the goals of the study. Purposive sampling will be used for this study, which is non-probability. The respondents were chosen by the researchers based on the research rationale in terms of being the most informative. Source of data from teachers or faculties that observe or notice their students who show signs of mental health issues, and from respondents who experience mental health issues such as anxiety, depression, eating problems, substance misuse, and suicidal ideation and intent. Research instrument. The researchers interview the respondents through unstructured open-ended questions as a technique. The unstructured open-ended questions have three themes. 1. Factors affecting the mental health issues of the participants. Number 2. Mental health issues faced by the participants. And number 3 is coping strategies of the participants in dealing mental health issues by they experience. In order to record the participants' responses, the researchers use voice recorder or mobile phone.
For the data gathering procedures, the researchers conducted interviews with participants who are tertiary education students enrolled at Western Philippines University, Puerto Princesa campus in the academic year 2022 to 2023 and who have experienced mental health issues such as anxiety, depression, eating problems, substance misuse, and suicidal ideation and instant in gathering the data for the research study. Additionally, participants' responses were recorded with voice recorder. For the data analysis, data was collected through qualitative method using unstructured interview with open-ended questions as a technique. The researchers used thematic analysis to present graphical and presentation of data to analyze the result of the interview. The emerging themes sexual assault, academic pressure, emotional support from loved ones, financial difficulties, lifestyle, parents' pressures, and peer pressure are directly related to the tertiary education students' mental health issues. Through this experience themes, recommendations were made. The entire design of this study was guided by Criswell 2013 suggestion for a phenomenological analysis technique which is as follows. First, describe direct experience with the phenomenon being studied. And second, create a list of important sentences. Find non-overlapping, equal value statements that describe how different people are experiencing the subject. And the third, organize important sentence into broader meaning cluster or themes. For the fourth, include build a theme, instance, and textural description of experience in your writing. And for the fifth, consider the setting and context of the phenomena as you write a structured description. And for the last, describe the phenomenon in a composite form that includes both the textual and structured descriptions. In order to successfully arrange, monitor, and analyze the data, the researchers followed the steps in the data analysis process and wrote the results in a form of narrative. In order to comprehend how the participant dealt with mental health concerns during their time in higher educations and to view the event from the participant's perspective. The researchers use a phenomenological technique. It is crucial to consider and specify the beginning point for such study. Participants' audio recordings were transferred by the researchers for use in data analysis, then accounted and gave the data an impact. Where transcribing at that time, reflective ideas and insight had formed. The researchers coded their participants' exact process in order to comprehend the participants' perspective on the phenomenon. The researchers were able to develop these removes codes that were repeated, rearranged the data into logical units, and look for patterns by grouping the codes related to the data. The researchers were able to group all the overlapping data into the most useful them ones the teams had developed. The researchers were then able to describe the factors affecting tertiary students' mental health. The researchers categorized a section that addressed study. Studies primary research question in order to provide the findings. To further support the validity of the research design, the researchers applied comprehensive, detailed descriptions as well as other techniques when presenting the results. For the ethical considerations, before conducting the study, the researchers asked formation first from the college team, research advisor, faculties, and staff that are necessary for this study, as well as school administrators. Further to the distribution of questionnaires, the researchers provide questionnaires was validated by the research advisors. Participants got a letter from the researchers requesting the writing agreement to take part in the study after it has begun. Participants were treated with dignity and respect, and the entire procedure were conducted in accordance with ethical norms. The same were strictly upheld to ensure that researchers were conscious of the rights and safety of the participants throughout the data collection process. Researchers were also put the Republic Act rules into practice now 10173, also known as the Data Privacy Act of 2012, ensures that respondents are kept anonymous for privacy and security reasons throughout the full instrument filling process and data gathering. The researchers arranged a schedule to communicate with the participants to be aware of the essential goals for this study. The researchers' course of action were ensured that the participants should be free from any external intervention and be exclusive for the two. The researchers and the respondents, the participants, on his part, ensure his willingness to participate and contribute to the study of the researchers. Participants were also made aware of ability to refuse involvement, their freedom to leave the research at any time, and the fact that their participation was entirely voluntary. Additionally, the criteria for using the provided instrument are aquatic and the language used in the research instrument is clear to both participants and researchers. Additionally, to ensure the participants' security and privacy, their identity and convenience were considered during the studies, data collections, and kept secret.
Another theme is the coping strategies of tertiary education students for anxiety. Participants 1 shared that when she had an anxiety attack, in order to reduce the negative thoughts she had, she coped by eating foods and then crying afterwards. So the next day it's the same cycle again. She cried and ate a lot of foods. While participant 7 shared that while her anxiety still attacks, she talked to other persons to share what problems she had because she believed that sharing is caring and caring is sharing. And participant 10 shared that she think about her family, they became her strength. She do unwind alone, meditate, and then go to a place where she can scream. According to Stewart, she asserts that because of the many obligations they are multitasking, both socially and academically, college students frequently lose concentration and feel disorganized. So because of this, mindfulness, which is defined as remaining alert and attentive in the present moment, can be extremely beneficial for those who are trying to manage depression and other mental health difficulties. Meditation, breathing exercises, taking part in a yoga session, utilizing a mindfulness app, or even hearing a mindfulness podcast are all ways to practice mindfulness. So another sub-themes is depression, wherein participants share that she don't want to seek professional advice because therapist is so hard to afford. So her coping mechanism is self-sabotage, but she is unlearning and trying to find a way to divert the void that she's feeling. And she guessed that it is reading. According to Whitson et al., people read for a variety of purposes, including knowledge advancement, leisure, joy, and relaxation. Another factor, the participants shared coping strategies in order to avoid eating too much is eating problems. Participant 6 revealed that for her to come up with stress eating, she drank a lot of water, while participant 10 said she played online games like Tom Eats. She drank wine when someone invites, and she watched funny videos on Facebook. This is supported by Hudson, which is drinking a glass of water before reaching for something to eat can help to curb unnecessary snacking. Another sub-themes is substance misuse. So in order to avoid taking substance misuse, participants shared this statement. She let out all her anger, and she cried and cried until she fell asleep. Last but not the least, sub-themes, the suicidal ideation and intent, wherein participants shared her coping strategy, which is she called her mother, specifically her family. This statement is supported by the study of Falconberry, which stated that inform a friend, relative, or member of the medical community that someone requires assistance. A life-saving action to the seek therapy for suicidal thoughts.
University-based proposed mental health programs. Students spend their time in school or universities other than any formal institutional structures. Schools or universities plays an important role in students' development, from circles of friends and social interactions and to their behavioral development. All these areas are essential and the mental health factors of the tertiary education. Based on the above-mentioned data from the emerged mental health factors faced by the participants, the mental health issues and their coping strategies has led the researchers to come up with the suggested university-based proposed programs, which will be held inside the campus premises yearly. This will be the university-based mental health awareness program and the psychosocial activities. On the summary of our research indicates that the participants experience mental health issues in the tertiary education. These factors affect the lives of the participants in terms of handling them and having their mental health issues and coping strategies to overcome these situations. Participants encountered hardships in life which influence the way they think about the particular situations, such as sexual assault, financial difficulties, and academic pressure, which creates a barrier in the learning capabilities inside the campus. These issues create a big impact to the participants. They endure anxiety, depression by doing too much food intake, substance misuse, which causes them to endure the pain and to cope with the mental health issues. And worst, gave them an idea of suicidal thoughts, which is negative in the aspect of life. Consequently, participants create coping strategies in order to overcome these mental health issues. Like for example, in anxiety, participants shared their coping strategies to overcome this in a way of sharing their thoughts to a friend, to a family, and then taking a relaxation to unwind and clear up their minds from these negative thoughts. Meanwhile, participants shared to overcome depression is to read a book, and substance misuse is to cry the problems away and just sleep soundly. While in eating problems, the participants shared drinking a lot of water and playing online games in order to avoid too much food intake. And for the last one, which is the suicidal ideation or intent, the participants share their coping strategies is to call their parents, talk with their mother in order to cope up with these negative ideas. In our research conclusion in this study, findings indicate that some of the tertiary education encountered challenges that affects their mental health issues. These mental health issues that they encountered affects the way they cope up with their studies while prioritizing their mental health. However, despite the barricade that they face, students become stronger and persevered in the time management skills and doing their academic performances while dealing with these problems. And these mental health issues gave them inspiration and motivation to be dedicated to their chosen field. This study brought new understanding on how the student will manage their mental health and on how to take care of it properly and learn to prioritize what are the most important things in life, and that includes the education. It will give hope and light to those future educators who will choose this field with brave mentality and dedication in order to surpass the road with hurdles to succeed in life. and the recommendations for future research. And prior to this study in the tertiary education mental health, this research will be useful for future research. Through the use of this research, new queries will arise. Another study should be conducted to further analyze the mental health issues of the tertiary education students. Subsequently, further research can provide innovative strategies and put an end to the chaos of unheard mental health issues. In addition to that, this research will provide university-based proposed awareness program which will cater to tertiary education students and provide psychosocial activities in relation to the mental health matters.